Hi everyone, welcome back to another Halloween DIY video. Today we're going to try to make a pumpkin arch, like for a doorway. And to do that, we're basically using a couple planters that we've bought offline. We've got all our fake pumpkins, different colors, different sizes. And then for the frame that these pumpkins are going to go on, we're using 3/4 inch PVC pipe. And we've also got a couple couplings and elbow pieces so we can kind of build out that frame in parts.
Other things that we'll have, we've got some concrete. We need to weigh down those planters there, so we're going to use some concrete to do that. We've also got some great stuff filler, expanding foam. That's going to kind of top that off because we don't need 60-pound planters. We've got a PVC cutter. We've also got a 3/4 inch spade bit that's going to help us cut through the pumpkins. And you'll need some water to make that concrete, turn into concrete.
Let's get started. What?
So we wanted to place a part of the PVC with a connector on it so that we could take off all these pieces for storage. What you see here is that we've got the PVC down into a little bit of the cement here. We're just making sure that it is sitting exactly up and down, and just measuring across the diameter a few different times to make sure that it's sitting in there nice and straight. And now it's just a matter of putting in some of that cement in there, different layers of it, and then pouring some water on top. We're not spending a ton of time making sure that the mix was right or anything like that, as this is just really to weigh down these two pots that'll anchor the pumpkin arch.
So with our concrete in the planter, we feel like we have a good weight, like it's heavy enough, and we want to fill the planter so that we have a nice even surface to work with, but we don't want to add too much weight. So that's why we're going with the expanding foam, and we're going to fill this up, let it set, and then probably paint it so it's all gray and looks like one cohesive piece.
Yeah.
So full disclosure, when we added the expanding foam to our first planter, we probably added too much or more than we meant to at the time. We didn't account for as much expansion that ended up happening. So if you are going to use this method, we would say to don't fill the planter, don't use a ton, and give it some space to expand, and then also not to remove or move that PVC piece until you're sure that the foam has definitely set and is completely dry. And then once the foam was completely dry and set, we went ahead and painted a layer of Drylock on there to weatherproof it. You'll also probably want to do this if you plan on painting your foam a certain color, as it helps prep the foam for paint.
Now what we've done here is to measure out the door frame that we will be putting this around, and the PVC here is just going to be measured for two sides that are going to be higher than the door, and then the width of the door. We're adding in a separate cut, a secondary cut, to keep these two side pillars shorter. It's going to make it easier for storage. What you'll need then is a coupling. So a coupling is going to go in between the two side posts to make the full length or the full height, and then we're going to do that along the width of the door frame as well, so that it's easy to put away at the end of the year.
And then once the pieces were cut, we put the frame together and then laid it out and took the pumpkins that we had and sort of tested out what the arrangement would be and to see if we needed to add any more to our selection.
Once we knew how many pumpkins we needed for this, we got to drilling the holes into the pumpkin using a Forstner bit. And this one here is a 1 1/4 inch bit, and this allows us to slide it over our 3/4 inch PVC pretty easily. It's still snug. You can see there that it was still holding the pumpkin up. But once each pumpkin is drilled out, we ended up just kind of test fitting and kind of seeing how each pumpkin wanted to kind of lay or kind of teeter onto the next. And then you just kind of go for it. You just try and line up where you want the hole to be and adjust accordingly. This way we can spin these around and make some final adjustments.
And here is our final result. As you can see, we left the foam painted with just the dry lock, but at this point you can kind of go ahead and add whatever you want. You could paint that, you could add in a leaf garland, some lights onto your arch, you could add fake spiders or bats, whatever you kind of want to do for Halloween. But overall, we're really happy with the end result, and we hope that you try this project out.